Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We are back in Japan for our tour of Japan. We're currently in Sendai in northern Japan, and we're going to be flying this ATR72-600 down to Tokyo on today's flight. We're going into Tokyo Haneda. Hi, Flight Hungary. Hello. Thanks for dropping by. We have about a 1 hour flight time, and it is going to be a nice sunrise flight. You can just start to see, well, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but I can just start to see color coming into the sky. So by the time we're up and ready to go in the ATR, we should be seeing some sunshine. So let's get our cockpit preparations all underway, and we can get ready to go. Alright, so we're here in the cockpit. We're just going to make sure everything is good, control-wise. Excellent. Plus 20 sub. I don't know how, but Oh, cool. Well, if you have something interesting to say and you're somewhat entertaining, I'm sure people would like to follow along. So, why not? Anyway, let's hop up top in the panel here. It's kind of hard to see at the moment, but we'll start getting everything done. So, cockpit preparation is complete. Gear lever is confirmed down. Parking brakes are confirmed on. And up to the top, we'll come up here to the battery, and battery is now on. You can hear everything starting to come on. We do have external power connected, so we're going to turn on our external for our AC and our DC. And we're also going to come down here and get our dome lights on so we can see just what is going on. Alright. With that done as well, we're going to come up here and get our nav lights on. And we can start bringing in the passengers, as they're going to have to be bussed in.
Boarding requested.
Oh, congratulations on that, Flight Hungry. Let's kill that caution there. Alright. So, let's get some of the other lighting up. A little bit of there, a little bit of there.
Board crew?
No.
Passengers bus is coming.
I'll get that up. Looking good. And this is my lack of knowledge on the ATR here. Looking for integrated lighting, but don't think we really have any. Or what we have is already up. Alright. So boarding has started. The nav lights are on. Warning systems. We can pop up top again. So we're going to do our squib test. That's good. Default test is good. Fire test is good. That's left engine.
Passengers boarding starting.
Right engine. Our tests are good. Come down here. Gust lock is in and engaged. That is good. Prop brake. We're not going to be using the prop brake today. We're going to be starting on the stand and taxiing out, so we don't need a push. We can actually just do a hard left and follow the taxi loop out, so we'll be good there. And we'll get the signs on. Let's pop back up overhead again. There's the no devices and the seatbelt signs are on. Emergency exit lights are now armed. Windshield anti-ice is now on left and right. So we can pop down now to the...
I'm doing good.
Actually, let's go over here. We're going to import our flight plan from SimBrief. So this gives us all our information that we're going to need there. And we have 50 passengers today. Alright, so here we go. Let's start setting her up. So that's all looking good. We'll come to our initialization position. We'll go with the GPS. It is now set in, and we are good to go there. Nav data is good. Still don't know how to update the data set, but it is what it is. So let's get the flight plan in for today's flight. So we'll go to our route. Today we're flying from Sendai, which is RJSS, to Tokyo Haneda, which is RJTT. I'll get that in. We're going to be cruising at 20,000 feet, and we have a 1-hour flight time for today. All right, so we'll execute the route. There we go. So leaving out of Haneda today, or Sendai, we are going to be going off on runway 27 as the winds are shifting around from the south to more southwest, and we're going to be using the IXI 8 departure. There we go. So we'll execute that, and there are all our waypoints. And it takes us from IXI to 8. That's correct, to IXI. After IXI, we are going to just pull up our airways. We're going on the Yankee 88, and we're going to Diago. I'll execute that. And return. After Diago, it is airway Yankee 10, and that is to Godin. No, that is incorrect. Next page. Godin. That's the one we want. And we'll execute that. And then from there, we're doing our arrival into the airport. So we'll come down to Pansy. Is Pansy on our flight plan? I don't think it is. I think that got put in by accident. Let me pull up my routing. Yeah, we should be going Diego, Jenna. Yeah, I think I clicked the wrong one and made a mistake there. So I'm going to see if I can take these out. That was the first one I put in. So I'll execute that. Alright, so from Diego, bring that up again. We're doing the airway, we're doing the Yankee 10. To Godin. Let's return. Alright, doesn't seem to be wanting to accept it. So let's do this kind of manually here. From Diego, we're gonna go to TDEX. There's always a another way around it. I'll execute that, and then from TDEX we're going to, oh, hang on. Yeah, Diego, TDEX to Godin. I'll execute that. Diego, TDEX, Godin. There we go. And then landing in Tokyo, we are going to be using the ILS for runway 16 left. There's ILS 16 left. And we are going to be using the Godin Lima arrival. Godin Lima arrival. And is it Sandy? I think it is. And we go in at Sandy is correct. So we'll enter that in. That should give us a whole new set of points here. So we will delete that one. All right. That is looking good. Except for our departure. What's going on with our departure? Oh, this is actually sort of correct. We're going to go out and then make a turn. So that's it, putting in that turn out and around. All right. And if we... kind of go into plan mode here. Now we go out, we come around and down. That looks good. That looks very good. Okay. So we are good there. And it sounds like the bags are coming on board. Yes, they are. So back down to the FMC. We have all that in. And there's our missed approach. So back over the menu, we have that done. The flight plan is in. We can do our weights now. So we'll get our flight plan up. And what format did I do this in? I don't think I changed it. No, I didn't. Alright, so let me bring it up again. And my weights page. Alright, our zero fuel weight is 16,810. Our fuel on board will be 2054. Or 2045 actually. There we go, with an 18.85 is our takeoff. That is pretty close. Center of gravity is all set. We are good there. Reserve fuel will actually change that to what it is, which is 382 in the reserve. So there we go. Units are good. Performance initialization. We are going up to flight level 200 or 20,000 feet. That is all good. Our alternate airport for today is RJAA. So Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha, and we will be going there at 10,000 feet. We'll get that in. So just take a second to accept. There we go. Alright, so our V speeds of 104, 104, and 110. That is all good. Transition altitude here in Sendai is 14,000 feet. That is now all entered in. And you can go over to the flight plan. Alright. Alright, looks like they're on the last of the bags. Alright, let's grab the weather. There is no ATC on at Sendai at the moment. We are on VATSIM, and there is another aircraft here heading, I think it's heading down to Fukuyama. Alright, 1013 is the barrow. Let's go, menu. Let's lean over a little bit. Initialization units will go into barrow setting. Yeah, I like it. There's a few quirks with it, and I still get the odd tail strike as I'm learning, but it's yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. What did I say the barrel was? 1013, which is standard pressure. There, 1013 is set and cross-checked. We are all good. So we're going to be self-cleared. We're just waiting for the final bags. It looks like he's got about 2 to go. Let's see. Service door is closed. They're all done over there. Got the snacks and the drinks loaded in. There's the last case. And as you can see, we're definitely starting to get some light coming up out there. Oh, there's that other aircraft out there. And then there goes the baggage chart. So he's going to pull that away, and then we will be good to start doing our thing. We might as well come down and get the radios set up. So COM 1, 122800. And we'll hit enter and get that in there on COM 1. And for COM 2, we're going to go to 121.5, which is guard channel. There we go. And there it is. Do I have... I do. So let's go to navigation on 116.3, which is the Sendai VOR. We'll put it in as a reference. 116.3 and enter. And we're heading to the IXE, which is 117. 117.7, so we'll use that as a reference as well. We'll enter, switch that over. So those two are now set. ADF, we don't have to worry about any ADF frequencies. And terrain, we do have mountains ahead of us, so we'll be using that when we get there. And if we come down to surveillance, our transponder code is going to be 2000. We gotta select. There we go. And it is on standby at the moment. Alright, so that's the altimeter. Looks like everything is done outside. As you can see, we're just going to turn around here and then taxi out.
Sendai traffic, Japan Air 930, taxi holding point Bravo 1, runway 09er, Sendai traffic.
Oh, he's going off on 09er. We're going to use 27. As I said, the winds are slowly starting to come around. It's about a 90-degree crosswind at the moment. Okay, so we are all good down here. So we're not going into hotel mode, but we are ready for engine start. So we get the tail prop in, the cargo door can be closed. We'll get the main door closed as well. Everything is closed now. Not sure where he's gone. Oh, there he is, taxiing down there. Alright, they can pull the wheel chocks as the parking brakes are set. So we're good for engine start. So we're going to pop up top here. And external power, we're going to start engine the engine 2 on the external power, then we'll disconnect and we'll start engine 1 off of engine
Sendai
2.
traffic from Bravo 1, runway 09er, Japan Air 930, takeoff.
So we'll come down here, we'll turn the fuel pump on. Turn the beacon lights on. We're going to turn the starter to A and B, and we're going to start engine number 2. You hear the starter. You hear it starting to wind up. Not sure why she's not going. Let's hop in. Oh, she didn't click over. I pulled it up, but not far enough. Alright, so there's engine 2 coming up. And we will let them know. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556 on stand 13, starting on the stand at Sendai. Alright, so that's that engine up and running now. So with that done, we can pop up top. We can make sure our hydraulics are good. Everything else there is good. We can disconnect the external power. Come down and they can pull it off, get it out of the way, and we can start up engine number 1. So fuel pump coming on. We're already over on start AB and starting engine number 1. And there goes the MD-81 there. Watch will go. As he heads off into the sunrise. And this is going to be nice. We should get sunrises for all of our flights here. Alright, so both engines are now up and going. Alright, and we'll bring both engines into auto mode. There they do. And while they do that, we'll pop up top again and we'll come through and make sure we have no white light. So flight controls are good, doors are closed, fuel systems are all good. We're all good down here. Main electrical is showing good. We can turn off the start. That's good. Pop brake is off. We're good with all our lights there. Hydraulic power is good. AC power is all good. Anti-ice is all off. We're good there. And we'll turn on the crew oxygen. Temperature is a little bit warm. Turn that down slightly. And we're all good for everything else. We'll turn on the pitot heats as well, get them out of the way. All right. So let's go through the rest of the after engine start. Hydraulic power is good and on. Oxygen is on. Takeoff data is set FCP. So I'm going to set a targeted indicated airspeed of 170 knots. But my initial is going to be a vertical speed of 1,000 feet. Doesn't want to give that to me. Oh, because I haven't set my altitude. Altitude is going to go up to 20,000. There's no restrictions on the way out. Let's just hold that down. It does take a while. There we go. Let's try vertical speed again. There we are. And we're going to go to a 1,000 foot per minute. Climb on initial takeoff. Heading, we're going to start out on, probably on nav right away, but we'll put in our heading of 271. There we go, 271 is set. So FCP is set, fuel pumps are on, fuel quantities have been checked, landing elevation is set to auto, seatbelts are already on. That's good. Probes and de-icers are all good. Power management is set to takeoff. We checked that before. Flight directors are on both sides. Radios are set. Trims. We have power. And 1.1 is set. Transponder is set to 2000 and is on standby. Doors are closed. Ground equipment is clear. Chocks have been removed. Confirm that. Chocks have been removed. Everything is clear. And we have start. So hydraulic power, no locks, flaps, setting for takeoff. 10 degrees, anti-skid is tested. That is good. Flight controls, we still have the gust lock on. That can now come off. And we go full back, full forward, full right, full left, and full rudders. Both directions are good. Flight controls are good. Autopilot is set and off. And we are ready for taxi. So nav lights are on, taxi lights are now on. Wing lights will put on as well just for advertising. Engine anti-de-ice not required, bleeds are all on. Electrical power is good. The temperature down a little bit more in the back. Pitot heats are on. And start selector mode is off. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556 taxiing to runway 27 via apron Charlie, holding short Bravo 6. Alright. So a little bit of brake pump. Release the brakes. And we are good to taxi. Let's get this thing turning in place. There we go. Now we'll taxi out here to the line. So as I mentioned, flight time is about an hour. And we should get a nice morning view of Tokyo as we come in. There's some beautiful sun on the clouds there. Alright, so as we taxi down here, everything seems to be set. We can do our TO config check. Config OK. And we can start setting up. There's our ND. And it's set on the other side there. And we will set up him as well. And he goes to a 40-mile bubble. For TCAS, I'll go out to an 80-mile ring. Actually, you can go down to a 20-mile. I'll go out to an 80-mile here once we're in the air. we are. Nice taxi out. I think on an update they must have nerfed the ground power slightly, because it used to taxi a little bit faster than this in idle, but it looks like they've taken that out and slowed it down slightly. So we're just gonna come around the corner here and we'll hold short. You can see that wind, it's almost a direct crosswind. So we took the shorter taxi today. Here we are, and let's just grab, before we go, that nice sunrise photo. Very nice. Okay, pre-departure landing configuration is checked and set. Power management were confirmed to takeoff. Speeds are checked and set. 104, 104, 110. FCP, nav data, and radios have all been checked. Fuel quantity is checked. Annunciator lights are good. Altimeter and speed are set in the autopilot, and we are good to go. So coming up top, we will turn the logo lights on, we will turn the strobe lights on, we will turn the landing lights on. Taxi light will come off. It says taxi and takeoff, so I'm going to leave it on. Transponder we will set to on. Come over into our nav, and TCAS will be above. Terrain radar will come on. We don't need weather radar today. That is on. We're going to turn the weather radar on now, just in case we do want it. And ADF ILS are good. We'll come over to comms. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556, lining up runway 27. Alright, so get rid of the dome light. And we are good to taxi out. So like I usually do, it will be a standing start, bringing the aircraft up to power, making sure we get it into notch. And it's kind of hard to do that and make sure you got it in there properly without looking at it, so I prefer to be on the brakes when I do that. And then we'll just release the brakes and climb out from there. Alright, runway 27 is identified. And there we go. So, clock is ticking. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556, departing runway 27 on the Iwaki 8 departure, Sendai. Let's look down. Bring up the power. There, both are in notch, and brakes released. Airspeed's live. $80 knots. Try to do it without a tail strike today. 100 knots, 104, Bit of back pressure. Hey, there we go. Positive rate, gear up. Alright, we're climbing out at 1,000 feet per minute. So we're gonna go nav mode, autopilot on, vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute. Looking good. We're above 150, flaps up. We're above our minimum, was 500 foot for the turn, so that's why we're turning now. Our terrain, but we're turning out over the water. It's all looking good. Alright, so we're not too worried about all the other stuff, so we're going to go into IAS mode. And we're going to set our speed back to 170. Sunrise. There's the town. Airport's below. Very nice. Now we should be next going to D120T. So what we're going to do is we're going to help it along there. So we're going to go direct to D120T and execute. There we go. All right. So gear is up, lights are out, flaps and slats are retracted. Power management, we will now set to climb. Climb power set. Autopilot is on. Yaw damper is on. I was a little slow with that. That should have been done way earlier. We're climbing up to 14,000 feet now. Again, we got about a 1 hour flight time. It is, and that's one of the reasons I chose to do this on VATSIM, is it gives us these gorgeous sunrises, and as we get later in the year, we're going to be going further south, so we should always get a nice sunrise at some point. And from here, we're heading out to we'll get some lovely views of the mountains, and as we come into Tokyo, the sun will be coming up, and it's going to be gorgeous. So we'll come up to the lights here, the nav lights on, strobe lights are on, logo lights can come off, wing lights are off, taxi and takeoff lights are off. We'll leave the landing lights on to 10,000 feet. I do use Volanta. In fact, it's on right now. So we got a nice climb out going. And let's see how busy Tokyo was. There was a few aircraft listed there. We got 2 departures and 4 arrivals. Very good. Not a lot of traffic around us. Yeah, that other aircraft is heading down to Fukuoka. Or Fukuoka, further south in Tokyo. But we should get a nice coastal flight here. We're heading out over the water now, but see, we're going to turn slightly in a, well, what is that, 11 miles? Again, this is not a quick aircraft. It's a little commuter airliner, but it works well. And again, we're going to get some pretty awesome sunrise views here in Japan. And we're flying live weather too, so we could get some pretty bad stormy weather as well, depending on how things go in the fall here. Alright, so again, I do not use the in-house checklist. There is a checklist you can run through. I've got a paper one that I use, which it's kind of a little bit out of sequence, and then when I do things like stand starts, it really throws it out of sequence because it's got it set up for the hotel start on the right engine and all that fun stuff. Alright, I'm not worried about weather. If I look at Tokyo's weather, I'm not worried down there either. It's just got a few clouds kicking around. No significant weather in the area, so not too worried today about storms or anything like that. We're maintaining our speed, climbing at 900 feet per minute. Not a fast airplane by any means. Alright, we're 7 minutes into the flight and everything is looking good. There's the sun's behind the pillar there. She's coming up. Again, lovely to see these sunrises here in Japan on this series of flights. And it is a slow climb to altitude. It's yeah, after flying the jets, the 737s, and 737 has a faster climb rate, or a higher climb rate than the 320 does as well, but yeah, it's quite the slow rate when you're doing this one. There's the turn. You can see we're heading down here. Then we're going to have a little bit of a jaunt around, and then we'll be getting into our arrival into Tokyo, which is not really that far away. Maybe an hour by train, just looking at it on the map. So kind of matching what we're seeing here. Hey Keiko, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciated, and welcome to the flight deck. Look at that sunlight on the airplane. That is phenomenal. Get some really good views out here, and there's the sunrise at the other side. It's pretty cool. So we're through 10,000 feet. We'll get the landing lights off. We can drop the seatbelt signs in the back. Temperature's coming down 21, 22 degrees. That's nice in the back for everybody. And we're just going to climb out now as we cruise along. There's no in-flight entertainment, obviously. We're in a ATR, but we can get some music on. So let's take a look and see what we have for today. What do I feel like? Not that I can hear it. Let's go with some of that for today. A little bit of jazzy type music. So our alternate RJAA is Tokyo's Narita Airport, which is, it's actually, what is it, about almost 50 minutes out by commuter train down to Tokyo. And that's actually, when I went to Japan, that's where I flew into. And yeah, it was the train from the airport to downtown Tokyo was about 50 minutes or so. Pretty much a straight shot, so that was all right. But it was a really good trip. Really enjoyed that one. Of course, that was 10 years, almost 20 years ago. No, 2007. So it would have been 15 years ago. Wow. And you can see here coming up our range, there's where it's saying we should reach our top of climb. By the time I know this is where it's predicted, but we're going to lose a little bit more of our climb as we get higher. So it's actually going to be about here, and then our top of descent is right here. So not a long time at cruise today. So it's going to be a short cruise as we chug along, but it's all right. It'll give us time to set up for the approach as we come in. The approach is a little bit twisty. Actually, I'll show you as we go the charts that we're using here today. Yeah, we got a good view there. So we'll bring up the charts. So here's where we left as we flew out of Sendai. The airport is right here. We departed out, and then once we hit about 500 feet, and when I hit the autopilot, actually, it made an immediate turn to 90 degrees. And basically, we were heading out this way. And we were on our way to this point here. We came out, and then we made the right turn, and we're now down following along the coast. Heading down to the Iwaki VOR here, which is on the coastline, as you can see on the map there. So we're flying down this way. Once we get to the Iwaki VOR, we're basically going to turn inland here, fly north of Iwaki, heading southwest, and we're going to fly down to Daigo, here at the Daigo VOR, and then we fly a little bit more southerly to the west of Mito, down to Golden, and Golden's where we're going to enter in our arrival. Now, we do not have charts for that. I don't know why we don't have charts. I was looking at charts. Golden, and I'll add, yeah, where's my charts? Anyway, it's not showing charts. But basically, we're going to make a further turn out here towards Novel, and then turn south towards Namco, flying down over the northern part of the greater Tokyo area. For some reason, we're avoiding this area over here. And we come down towards Nihilus. There's Narita Airport, but we're not going into Narita. But we're going to fly right down here over downtown Tokyo. And then we're going to make a bit of a right turn here. And we're going to head up here. We're going to hit Sandy, and we're going to come up, and we're going to make a left, coming around, picking up the ILS. And then we're going to be coming in and landing out here on runway 16 left. and that is right by the bay, so that we should get a beautiful view of Tokyo as we fly in. Once we're down at the airport, we're going to be landing on this runway here. We'll probably get off somewhere up here at C8. We can come in over here. And then, I haven't pulled it up yet. Let me grab the chart for parking. Let's take a look at where we're going to park. So we're probably going to come in here at Charlie 8. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to come to Terminal 2. And we'll probably park it on one of these outer stands here. 81, 82, 83, or 84. And park up there. So that is the plan, but you can see how close to downtown Tokyo we're going to get as we come in, so it should look pretty cool as we come over a lot of the downtown and outskirted areas here of Tokyo. So that's us through transition at 14,000 feet. We could switch over to standard pressure, but we're already there, more or less. And Tokyo is reporting the same pressure, so we don't have to make any adjustments, so we'll just leave it at 1013, or the inches of mercury equivalent of 2992. All right, we're still working our way up. See, our predicted line is now pushing out to where we're actually going to make it. It's working it out because we're down to 500 feet per minute climb right now. We've still got 5,000 feet to go. So it looks like we're going to be descending just before Diego. Unfortunately, with it laid out the way it is, it's not showing if there are any restrictions or anything. So I am going to look at those charts. Okay, so what are the arrivals? Yeah, there it is. There's an 8,000 foot restriction at Nelis and 8,000 at Noble as well, so we'll probably be down around there, but we'll see where it wants us. I'm gonna let the VNAV kind of do it as a test. Kind of got confused last time I tried something like that, so we'll see if it does it this time. Down to 400 feet per minute. Let's see if we actually make it to 20,000 feet. Decent views out the windows. Lovely view of the hills here as we come up on the coastline. It's 4,000 to go. So one of the interesting things about this plane is that it's whatever source it's following on autopilot, it's going to follow. It's hard to put some stuff in without actually having to change sources. So you have to kind of take it off the source mode and put it into like just follow heading mode while you do some of these changes. So we'll get into that when we start entering in our ILS information. If you're looking to learn how to fly this, I can show you the basics. I've got I think it's a 4-part series up on the channel in the tutorials playlist on flying this and how to do some of the basics. I'm no means an expert at this, but it is a fun aircraft and it's a good one for tooling around and seeing the sights. And we're seeing a lot of lovely early morning Japan here. So we're coming in on the coast, and there's that beautiful orange sunrise. Looking very nice. Alright, so we're going to come back down here to our nav. We're going to let it auto search and pull up its own VORs. We are 9.5 miles out of Ixi, and then we're going to make that turn a little bit inbound to the shore, or inshore. A little bit of weather coming up there, so let's just to see what's happening, we'll pop down here, and I'm actually going to have to come over to this side. We'll go into surveillance and surveillance. It is. So we're gonna put the. Oh, we got the weather on. So it'll give us a 20-mile range on weather in case something comes in. Coming over to this side, we can now come in and go to normal on TCAS. I think I'm going to have to start going into the Simbri flight planning and altering some of this information, because it does not seem to be doing a good job of what we're doing. So we're going to go to cruise level of 180. They're going to let me change that here. No. So we will change it, what did I want? No, I wanted performance. We'll change it here. There we go, into altitude hold mode. And if we come down here, yeah, 180. There we go. So now we've reached altitude. We can come over here and put ourselves into cruise mode, cruise power setting. She doesn't want to climb up to those higher levels, so I'm going to work to keep her in her teens, I think, in future, not let her plan that high. take a look at Tokyo. We've still got those 2 departures and 4 inbounds. So I'm coming in. We got one coming in out of Detroit. We got one coming in out of Los Angeles, and we have one coming in from Hong Kong. And the outbounds, one to Guam and one to looks like Singapore. Which is very nice. So we're about 35, 36 miles from top of descent. As mentioned, it's not a long time in cruise here. We have a ground speed of 231. We're slowly picking up speed. Just do another quick weather check for Tokyo. Yeah, winds are 140 at 4, so 16 left is going to be the runway that we're using today. Coming over to the performance section, we can see our landing information. We are looking at a runway length of 11,000 feet. We only need 2,600. So our approach speed is going to be 101 with our go around at 114. We're going to do what I usually do, which is come in at 110 and then let her slow in the flare. Although with this aircraft, you don't want to flare too much because you run the risk of tail strikes. So we'll hold it off. See if I can do a perfect double. No tail strike on takeoff, no tail strike on landing. Be nice. .239 knot ground speed. Looking good. So we've reviewed the arrival and approach for the landing. We've gotten the weather, which I will post into the chat. And there we go. So RJTT weather at 1930 Zulu, which was about an hour ago. Winds are 140 at 4 knots. 10 miles visibility, few clouds at 1500, broken at 2600, or sorry, broken in the area, temperatures at 26 degrees, QNH 1013. So that is looking good. So we can enter in our information while we're just cruising along here. So for the ILS, we are going to want to be 111.95. So what we're going to do is come down here to nav. So nav 1 is the ILS. So we're going to go 111.95, enter, bring it over, 111.95, that is the ILS for that runway. Now on the missed approach, it wants us to turn on a heading of 057 and intercept the outbound of 0922 Snoke and hold at 4,000. So we're going to put that in on number 2, and the ILS or the VOR is 112.2. We'll enter that in and we'll switch that over. So that's now in. That's 96 miles away. That's the airport VOR. And we're going to be wanting to head out on a 092 radio. Well, we can't put that in yet. Although the needle's showing where that is. We can't put it in yet because we can only do one course on the thing. But that's fine. So we'll switch over to COM 1. And what we can do now is put in our course for the ILS. So we're going to sync our heading. We're going to switch over from LNAV to heading select, so it's now following our heading. We're going to switch our source or format over to ILS 1, so it's now defaulted to, it doesn't see it, but that's fine. You can see ILS 1 111.95, which is what we want, but the course is 057. So we're going to dial that in so that it is ready to go when we do switch over. And we're not having to do this. Alright, 157 is set. That is good, so we can switch back now to the FMS, and then we can go back into LNAV mode. Alright, that is good. So we're about 12 miles from top of descent now. So our intercept altitude is 4,000 feet, so that's what we're going to be putting in as our descent, and we'll see how she does in VNAV mode. There are a couple restrictions as we come down, as mentioned. We do have 8,000 foot here and 8,000 foot here. You can see 6,000 foot here, so let's see how she handles it. So we'll come down and set our altitude now down to 4,000 feet. We're in altitude hold mode, so she's not going to go anywhere. There we are. So once we make this turn and we come up towards TOD, we'll hit VNAV, and it should put us on VNAV path and bring us down. What I am going to do is come down to a 40 mile here just to give us a better view of what's happening. Looking good. Said it was about an hour. I think it was an hour and 1 minute flight time, but we are looking good with where we sit now. 33 minutes. We should be down in about half an hour, which is good. So we're 3 miles out, just about to make that turn, and then we'll be starting downwards. It'd be nice if it gave us a top of descent indication here, but it's not doing that. Well, and we'll leave the power in climb mode until we get down towards landing, and then we'll switch to takeoff in case we have to go around. There's our turn. Come in here and we'll set TCAS to below. There we go. And let's start heading down. So VNAV it is. VNAV path. There's our vertical and lateral deviation markers. We see first restriction 8,000 feet, and there we go. We've intercepted, and we are starting down. Tokyo Haneda area traffic, skyways 5556, 3 miles from TEDx, leaving flight level 180 inbound for the Golden Lima arrival, ILS 16 left, Tokyo Haneda. Alright, so we want to maintain 210 knots, so we're going to have to start jockeying the power a little bit. Keep that speed down. TEDx we went over. We're now heading down to Godin, where we're going to enter into the arrival. You can see the path it's going to be taking us. And, Tokyo is kind of right ahead of us. It's a little, fairly large community of Hitachi off to our side there, right along the coast. I wonder if that's where the company Hitachi started. Alright. Scent is looking good. Speed's looking decent. We're a little bit fast. Sorry about wiggling around there. Keep that power back a little bit more. Very nice. The speed's slowly coming down. Problem with this, if you drop them back to idle, it's like an instant major power loss. Where if you inch them forward like an eighth of an inch, all of a sudden you got all your power back, and it's just not linear. Which you would kind of hope it would be. Alright, so we're still targeting 8,000 feet. This should bring us right down to 4,000. There we go. There's that turn out towards Novel. See, our speed's getting a little slow. Let's bring that power up. Keep it around that 210. So destination weather has been obtained. Arrival data is set. Automatic torque, we're leaving it on. Radios are set. Engine NTH not required. FCP is set. Landing elevation is automatic. Minimums. I forgot to do minimums. Minimums on the runway is 219 feet. So we're going to go MDA, which is the minimum set altitude. Make sure that's set for both. And we'll Set minimum descent altitude. It is in 10, so we'll go 220. There we go. So minimum descent altitude is set. Barrel is set to 1013. Approach and missed approach has been briefed. Transition level here at Tokyo is 140, so we're already through that. That is fine. We're already over to standard pressure anyway. See how I'm up and down on the speed here because of the throttle has no finesse. There's 10,000 feet. Landing lights are on. Taxi light. We'll get the wing lights and logo lights and all the lights on. We'll get the seat belts on as well. And we're gonna have to turn off the tunes as we go sterile cockpit. Just a little bit of mountains here. I believe we have terrain radar is on. It's good because there are mountains and stuff in the Tokyo area. There's that 8,000 feet coming up. We got to be down at 210. Bring that speed back. There we go. Trying to hold that 210 knots. So we make our turn. So we got some lovely farm country below us. Wants us at 210 knots, so we'll try to keep it there. Again, it's more like up and down around it as we come in. 46 miles out from the airport now. Flaps 1 speed is 185. Flaps 2 speed, which is full flaps, is 150. In case anyone was wondering. See the strobe strobing away there inside the wing cover. So we're going to do this little jog out to the left and then cut back to the right again. Again, we seem to be avoiding certain areas here as we come in. Snare, it wants us at 6,000, so we'll just watch for that. It's got us in a very shallow descent right now. I wonder if it's tagged Needless as the 8,000 it's going for. That's 20 miles away. Turn. No changes down in Tokyo for aircraft in or out. We're coming up for the weather and the clouds, but not seeing anything major on the scope over here. Yeah, it looks like Neelis is the 8,000 it's aiming for. It's slowly bringing us down. Got some cloud here we're coming into. This is the broken layer that's talking about, which it sort of looks like. It was indeterminate in its altitude, but it shouldn't be too thick. Looking good. "46 minutes into the flight. As mentioned, I mean, 90% of this flight has been either the climb or the descent. But I will play around a little bit to make sure we're not climbing up higher than the aircraft can do. I'll keep us in the mid-teens. Probably the best thing to do. So we're at 8,000 feet now. Pretty much on speed on altitude for Neelis, so we got to drop another 2,000 for snare, then we got to drop another 2,000 for the intercept. See how that plays out. May have to take over with some of this stuff. I'm not sure when the last update to this came out. You can see we're just slightly edging down to get that perfect 8,000 feet now. Tokyo's off to our right. We're kind of seeing that river there, and then the start of Tokyo Bay after that. We're seeing the airport now lining up. So once we make this turn, we'll drop the range down to 20 miles on our ND. And we're going to dial in 092 on our heading, because that's the heading they're going to want if we do the missed approach. So we'll put that in just so that it's there in case we have to use it. Starting down for 6,000 now. Like the way it bumped me back. There we go, 092 is set. Alright, we'll bring that in. Oop. That's what I wanted. Bring that into 20 miles. Down to 6,000 feet. I love the way now that we've passed out of that max or at 210, it decides, okay, we can speed up again. Which is not the way this thing works. That's fine, we'll hold it. We're now out over the greater Tokyo area. So we're coming in through these clouds here. Heading down to 6,000 feet. Love the approach chart for this. Lots of buildings and towers are warning about altitudes as you come in. Clouds going by. This is the Shimu Fusa Airport. Down there, and there is where we're headed. There's Haneda. We're going to be coming in along the runways along the edge of the water here. That's the way we're coming in. So we're going to come out, turn around ILS and in. Definitely got some lower clouds in the area here. And we're coming down to 6,000 feet at snare and then 4,000 feet. The view as we come in the greater Tokyo area, all the rivers. See some of the buildings starting to come up in the downtown core. All right, 10 miles on the central display. 20 miles on Rogers, so that's good. Speed's good. Coming down for 6,000 feet. Sandy, we got a max of 185. So once we make the turn at snare and start descending to 4,000, we're going to start bringing that speed back. Turn. There's the drop. So let's get the throttles back. Start coming back towards 185. Of course, after 185, we can drop the first notch of flaps. Should see some of the scenery there as we come in. It's 5,500. Try to keep that speed around that 185. Alright, so as we get ready for the approach, ILS, VOR, and NDB frequencies are all set. Turn into Sandy. We can use the speed bug there as the guide. We'll try to keep it on the bug as much as possible. In and around that 185 mark. 4,000 to go. This will help as we start to level off. So at Lori, we got about a 3-mile run dead level at 4,000 feet, which is fine. And once we head in towards that way, we'll go into our approach mode after Linen, and we make that hard left turn. Still coming down. Not sure why she's bumping like that, but we are turning in towards Laban. Sandy was 4,500 feet, which we were at. Laban is 4,000, which we're coming down to. See our restriction and our preset altitude are lined up there. Airspeed's all over the place, but we're going to keep around that 185, 180 at the moment. Here's downtown. We're going to come out and swing around and line up on the left runway, which is 16 left. As we make the turn at Linen, we'll go to flaps 1. There's the turn. Flaps 1. Keep that speed up. About 170 is good. Level at 4,000. As we come wings level, we're going to switch over to ILS mode and go approach. So we're now wings level, localizer and glide slope are both armed. That speed about 170. Localizer's coming in. No glide slope as of yet. That's fine. We're going to hold 4,000 on the altitude hold. We are 15 miles out. We should get the glide slope. There it is. Glide slope capture. 165 knots. $14 miles out. Glad we're not landing into the sun. That's rather bright. There's downtown Tokyo. As mentioned, Narita is way off in that direction there. Anyway, there we are heading downwards. I'm going to bring the power back. Alright, power management set to takeoff. Approach mode is armed, glide slope is alive, gear coming down. 11 miles, a bit far, but that's okay. We're going to need it to get stable. Speed's coming down. Below 150 we can go full flaps. Alright, parking brake is confirmed off. Gust lock off. Cabin is all notified. We'll give them the final ding. Lights are all on. Gear down. 3 green. 1 notch of flaps to go. Try to hold that till 6 miles. So we're not coming in too slowly. There we go. There's Tokyo. There's the radio tower and some of the bridges heading out to the central area there. There's the airport coming in. Very nice. There's Tokyo Tower. It's the radio tower. This is the Imperial Park, I think. Very nice. Oh, Ferris wheel. Pretty cool. Alright, where are we? 7.5 miles to go. Speed's down to 154. That's fine. Bleeding off slowly. Tokyo Haneda area traffic. Skyways 55, 56, 7 miles out. Final runway 16 left. Haneda. Last check on the airport. One guy left. It's just us coming in now. 6.5 miles. There's 6. Bring the speed back. Alright. Speed back. Full flaps. Yeah, I know. I'm not over. Speed's coming down. And flaps full. No cautions. We are good for landing. Yeah, runway's identified. We're looking good. Speed's coming back. No problems there. You can bleed off the speed pretty good if you are controlling it from well out. If you're not, it may take a little bit of extra to help you get it down. And if you're going too fast, you can also hit the props out of auto, put them into FTR, and then they act as big brakes. Alright, 1,250 feet. Good, looking stable. Try not to flare too much. The tail is pretty close to the ground. More or less just bring her level and let the airplane just settle into the ground. Coming in over the docks. 100 knots. Or 110. A little bit of freezing there. Alright, it said 101 minutes, we're at 103, so not too bad.
$500.
500 feet. I have control. Again, there's no auto brakes. It's going to be manual braking and reversers if required. Slightly displaced threshold.
Approaching minimum.
We're doing good. Power setting is good. 109, 108. 104 is our actual, so we're not doing too bad.
Minimum. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Welcome to Tokyo. Alright. Pressure's off. No need to hammer the brakes. And here is Charlie 8. Said we were going to be departing. Or, sorry, Charlie 7. Okay, we missed it by 1. Welcome to Tokyo. And that was nice, no tail strike. Canadian area traffic, Skyways 5556, clear runway 16 left, taxiing to apron Mike 2 via Charlie 7, Hotel Echo. Alright, so let's get the flaps up. We'll get over here and get the landing lights off, the strobes off, wing lights and the logo lights off. Come in here to Echo. And taxi up to the stand here. Yeah, we're just gonna park her up in this area in here. We'll go to the first one here. I wonder if it'll let me pick that. It's not really a gate. Nah, this one's just giving me gates. This is actually coming in the other way. Okay, we'll go to the next one. I see what they've done. We'll go into 83 here. Alright, so come around. And as I've said before, normal procedure would be to shut down one engine and taxi in on one, but the aircraft is hard to maneuver on the ground with only one engine, so I leave them both running. What I will do now is pull engine 1 back from full power. Now that we're almost here. And there we go. We are here, so let's get the flaps are up. Transponder will come down to here and turn it to standby. Strobe lights are off, landing lights are off, taxi lights are off. Anti-ice not required. Trims, pitot heats will come off. Engine 1 condition lever is back to FTR. And we can shut down engine 1 now. Engine 2 condition lever will come back to FTR. Taxi light can come off. Parking brake on. And over to aircraft. So now that this side is done, everything is stable, then come in, hook in the ground power. We'll connect, and we can shut down the other engine. go. Alright, so beacon light can come off. Leave the nav lights on, seat belts and everything can come off in the back. And external power is connected. Fuel pumps will both come off. Oxygen will come off. Flight directors off as well. Flight directors are off. Put in the wheel chocks, and we can start with the D board.
The boarding requested.
ANA can do it. Alright guys, well that's the flight for today. Hope you enjoyed. Lovely sunrise flight again in Japan. Our next flight will be tomorrow. We are scheduled for, once again, 19:30 hours Zulu as we continue our Canadian trip, flying the Air Phoenix A320.
Passengers
This
bus
time
is
leaving
coming.
from Yellowknife and flying down to Edmonton, Alberta. Hope you can join us for that. Thanks again for coming out. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.
Passengers, the boarding